Welcome to a little presentation about Bluetooth evangelism. This is Radio Eden production. Radio Eden, you can check us out on the website www.radioeden.com, so www.radioeden.com. And in this presentation we'll be looking at using Bluetooth for personal evangelism. Okay, the first question is, why personal evangelism? Jesus said just before he ascended into heaven, go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. So that's a very distinct command by Jesus Christ. If you are a Christian, you understand the gospel, you understand the significance of the gospel, then it's our job to go out into the world and to be a light and to let people know that Jesus has come into this world, that he has died for you, that he has shed his blood for you, that if you believe in him, you can have eternal life and you will not see death. You've crossed over from death to life. A couple of ideas from the Gospel of John there. But it's important. It's very, very important. Ultimately, if people don't come to Christ and they reject Jesus Christ, they will end up in hell. And Jesus in the New Testament spoke about hell more often than about heaven. And something which I think in our generation seems to have been forgotten, that there is an alternative to heaven which is not very pleasant. People just seem to concentrate on other things as far as the gospel is concerned. Nevertheless, I mean, you might be listening here and you're just interested in Bluetooth. This is about evangelism. I'll be making references to the gospel and why it's important to preach the gospel. And if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, I just want to encourage you to open up your heart and to just be inquisitive and seek God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. Ultimately, you're going to die and you're going to stand before God. And if your sins are not forgiven, if you have not been redeemed by the blood of Christ, then there's no chance for you, and you'll end up eternity in a place you don't like, a place of torment and horror. So, just a gentle warning to you, come over to our site, and it doesn't cost you anything, I should say, but it'll cost you, it'll cost all you have, and yet it is free at the same time. But that's a bad thing. Once you get to know Jesus Christ, you will never regret it, and you'll never turn back. For me, it was a decision I did 30 years ago, and I can tell you I've never regretted following my Lord and giving my life to my Lord Jesus Christ. And I hope you can do the same. Anyway, for us it's important to get this message out there and to let people know that Jesus died for them and that he has a way out for them, for a new life, which will be an eternal life. Okay, and we're going to use Bluetooth for this, in this instance. We don't have to, but we can. What is Bluetooth? It's a standard which has been developed by a group of mobile phone manufacturers. So a lot of them are around, and I think, don't quote me on this, I know Nokia was one of them. I think Microsoft, IBM, and a couple of others as well. It's a whole group of manufacturers, phone manufacturers, which got together, on computing manufacturers, who got together and sat down and designed this standard. The whole idea about Bluetooth was to make phone interfaces easier to connect and to use. So, for example, if you've got a hands-free set, it's only a few clicks on your phone and you can use it. So it's fairly straightforward, fairly easy. Now, the standard went through several revisions. There were a lot of problems in the past. In one instance, it wasn't very reliable and started failing. Then they had security issues where other people could hijack somebody else's phone using Bluetooth, and so they tightened the standard more and more and more. I had to teach about this a few years ago. I had to give a lecture on this, and at the time the standard was version 3, and I think I got it right. But anyway, the main point is it went through several standards and it got more and more and more secure. And there's a problem as well, which basically is that old phones can be accessed for Bluetooth marketing, and newer phones, unless the owner has set them up to accept those messages. So another way, he is opted in rather than opted out. otherwise they will not be available. So that means this window of Bluetooth marketing and personal evangelism using Bluetooth is gradually shutting down as the old phones disappear and they're replaced with the new smartphones which have come on the market. Most of them don't work for this. Anyway, let's look at what we can do and the software and the things which are available to make this possible, and then we can see further, and maybe you get inspired to give it a go and to use it. Okay, what can you do with Bluetooth? You can connect to wireless earphones, those wireless headphones or whatever you call them. You can exchange e-business cards, very interesting thing. So that was an idea of Bluetooth. You could have your business card electronically installed on your phone, and you meet your friend or businessman and you can just exchange them from one phone to another. You can connect to another phone. You can then transfer files to that phone. You can connect to a hands-free system which might be installed in your car. So there used to be a system around called Parrot. You installed it in your car, and if you had your phone you could just turn it on Bluetooth and then connect to it. You can listen to your favorite music on your car radio as well, which is quite an interesting new feature. A lot of car radios come Bluetooth enabled, so they've got a little Bluetooth receiver in there, and you connect it to your phone and you put your favorite MP3s in there. And you can just listen to your own choice of music via Bluetooth on your car radio. In the early days, even the last revision before the smartphones came out, you could use it for marketing. So if somebody left his Bluetooth turned on, and then there are two modes, which is discoverable and not discoverable. If discoverable mode was turned on and left on, which was the default position, then the phone could be made susceptible for marketing, for Bluetooth marketing. How would it work? Your phone would get a short prompt, and it'll say something like, would you like to accept data from so-and-so? And if you accept the data, then a brief download would begin, and it would probably take about 10 to 15 seconds. Then you get a text message pops up, and you can see the file which has been downloaded. Now this method works on not very old phones, but on the generation preceding the smartphone. So we're talking about phones which are about 3-4 years old, or the new smartphones. Even though some of them you can still sort of get the invitation, but it doesn't work very well. So it's a window which is gradually clothing, but you might want to use it as long as it still works. Now, I've got some experience with this method. We used it at work to do some marketing, and my place of work used to be near a busy junction, near some traffic lights. So it was ideal. So you put out the Bluetooth sender or the Bluetooth marketing machine, put it near the window, and about 10 to 20 meters away from the window, cars, sometimes even a bus, would stop at the traffic lights. And the first thing you would see is all the devices which the Bluetooth marketing software would recognize. And in those days, it was quite usual if a bus, a city bus went past or stopped at the traffic light, then there were about 20-30 people in there. You got about almost half the number in devices, so you got about 15 devices or 20 devices, and you could see them straight away. And then the software would start sending out invitations. Would you like to accept data from www.companyname.co.uk? And then people would have to press a button. The problem we had at the time is by the time people pressed the button, the bus, the traffic light went to green, the bus carried on driving, and the people went out of range. So even though a lot of people were made aware of our company, they couldn't get the small presentation we put together for them to look at. And we found that over a period of a couple of months, there were only a few downloads at this particular location. And we think that the downloads was basically from pedestrians which went past that place. So the point is, it's not sort of that big a thing, but it's something which can still work. And whilst the window is still open, you may as well make the most of it and give people a nudge to think about Jesus and to think about the eternal destiny. I've been using this method recently, and when I sit on the train, there are about 40 people maybe in the compartment, and from that figure I get maybe 3 or 4 people where Bluetooth is still enabled, and every now and then I get a download as well. Interestingly, I get more downloads or more attempted downloads this time around than when we tried to do the marketing from a few years earlier, and we got like 30-40 hits. So it seems to be that people with older phones are more likely these days to accept data. So it's a bit strange, but anyway, it's something to consider. Okay, the first software is called Bluesender, and there is an evaluation version. You need a compatible dongle, and let me quickly explain to you. All right, let's go to the software for Bluesender. I've got the website here. You can see the website, so that's Bluesender at bluesender.com, and you can see the software here. Let me just enlarge this. Click to enlarge. This is very, very slow. Okay, while it's loading, let me quickly tell you about the dongle situation. You need a compatible dongle, and when you go to the website, it'll tell you what the dongles are. I think these days, most dongles, Bluetooth dongles you come across, they will work. If you go on eBay and it doesn't connect, some problem with the internet connection, we're going to sort it later. Anyway, that's what the window looks like. Down here you put your files in which you want to send, and down there you will find all the different phones which come within range of the Bluesender device, the marketing device. Now, you download a small file. That's very important as well, so it can't be too big, just a couple of kilobytes, maybe 20-30 kilobytes. I wouldn't go much beyond 100 kilobytes, otherwise it takes too long to download, and people don't wait that long. Down here you can see the adapter, so it should be Vidcom, Blue Soleil, Microsoft Bluetooth stack. It works with Windows, so you need a Windows machine. And we found out that if you install Microsoft XP, Windows XP Service Pack 3, it tends to work almost all the time. We bought a couple of random dongles when we sort of tried to revive this, and it seems to work. Now the cost is about $50 if you want to get an unlimited version. You can have a trial version as well, which you can download from the website, and you can with the trial version you can see whether it works or not. Gives you about 15 days, and after 15 days you need to buy it. A little bit of warning as well, so the concept of download it, install it, take it off your machine and then install it again doesn't work with the software, so you have to pay for it. I don't know how they do this. They must put something in the registry to stop you from just reinstalling the software and trying the same thing again. Anyway, it works reasonably well. You get 3 types of dongles. There's class 1, 2, and 3. Most phones, and the difference between the dongles is a power rating. Now, 1 is about 1 milliwatt. 2 is 20 milliwatts, if I remember right, and 3 is 100 milliwatts. So make sure you get the powerful dongle, class 3, and I hope I get it the right way around. With that, you will have a chance theoretically of transmitting files up to about 100 meters. Don't bank on it. It's probably more realistic about 20 to 30 meters, and depending on where you are and what the how much other wireless stuff is in the area and whether there's Wi-Fi or not. but if you go up to 50 meters, it's pretty safe to sort of realize that it may be possible, but you have to bear in mind that the phones you are talking to, and they need to send some stuff back to you as well to actually discover them and to see that they're there, all of them are class 2 devices, so they've only got 20 milliwatts, and they are supposed to only have a coverage of about 10 meters or so, and not more. Okay, I think that's all about Bluesender. I haven't got the software here. We have worked with it recently a little bit at work, so reinstalled it and sort of revived the whole thing. If you buy the USB dongle, it costs about £2, maybe a bit more, £5 depending on, I think the cheapest one I've seen were £2 in packaging. Anyway, it's less than £10 or $7. You should be able to get a dongle on eBay or elsewhere. If you go to a shop, you pay significantly more, but it's not that expensive. Bearing in mind that a lot of laptops these days have got Bluetooth already integrated, so they've got a little Bluetooth device inside, so if you have to try it out, maybe it works with that one, and all you need to do then is take your laptop and try it out. Okay, so that's Bluesender. Let me go back to the presentation. Okay, let's go back. So we've had a look at that. Yeah, you need a file to transmit as well. I'm going to tell you later how to create this file and what to do with that. So that's Bluesender. The URL is www.bluesender.com, $50. Also, just the last word, if you sort of try to work with this, I found that dongles perform wildly differently. I don't know why. They should all be the same standard and they should all have the same technology. Most of them have got the same chip, but we found that some dongles, they work really well and others don't. Some dongles, they crush, so you keep it on for a couple of hours and then they start crushing. And it might be, it's only a couple of pounds or a couple of dollars, so it might be worthwhile to experiment a little bit until you get a good dongle, if you think it's good and it still works. And wherever you are in the world, a lot of people have still got Bluetooth enabled phones you can communicate with. Okay, there's another one as well, and this is a really interesting app or application, and it's for Android smartphones. Unfortunately not for iPhones or for Windows smartphones, but for Android smartphones. So you have to have, you need to find out whether your smartphone is on an Android operating system or not. You can, obviously the advantage is your smartphone is with you anywhere, so you don't have to log around to a big laptop, but you can just use your smartphone. It's the same concept as Bluesender, so you down here you would put something, a name or something, and it could be www. For example, the website I created some time ago is hopeforall.co.uk. You could put this in here, so even if people don't download the file, they would have the URL, and maybe they might be tempted to use their smartphone or their old phone to go to the URL, or they get so intrigued that they really want to go there. I tried two URLs. One is called www.hope4all.co.uk. The other one is www.turnorburn.co.uk. I found that the Hope for All, it's all very nicey, and people weren't intrigued to download it, and nobody was really interested. And nevertheless, I got it on their phone. When I tried Turn or Burn, it was quite interesting. A lot of people thought this is quite outrageous, and obviously that's what it's meant to be. And a lot of people were quite intrigued, and they attempted to download, and I could see this. Some succeeded and some didn't. You can load an image in here, or you can load a moving image. That's what I've done. So it turns out to be a small presentation. And then you just click on Start Broadcast, and next you get a list of the successful attempts and attempts which weren't successful, or that people have declined the offer of downloading a file. But regardless, you can, even here, you can put a small message in there, which might be the key you want to get across. Something like, where would you like to spend eternity? Or feel free to use turnorburn.co.uk if you want to do so, and you want to direct people to that website. But anyway, you can put anything in here, nice message, nasty message, something which will, wake people up, and you can put a picture in here. I mean, this is just a a request for donation. I got this image from YouTube, from Google, but it's just what people put on there, and they want to get people to donate some money for something. Okay, you can carry with the NMS, same concept as Bluesender, initial message, then it broadcasts, people get a little message on their phone, then they either accept it or they reject it, and again it only works with older phones. The problem is it'll drain your battery. So if you've got a smartphone, I notice if I turn all the web interface off, like Bluetooth and what else I've got, internet access and all the other things, my smartphone will easily last about 3 days. If I turn everything on it, especially if I turn Uncast on, it'll last only a day, just about a day, possibly not even a full day. But if you target your mission, then it's not a problem. You just make sure you can charge it up again, or you've got a facility to charge it up later. Also, the range is not quite as good as with Bluesender. That's what I found as well. Reason, probably it's only a class 2 device. And so it'll only operate with reduced power. So you're looking at 10 meters, maybe a little bit more, and that's about all. What can you do with that? There's an awful lot of stuff you can do, and I'll leave this to you to let your imagination flow to find out how you can utilize it. You can advertise websites. First thing, so if you've got some websites where you've got some evangelistic information on there, you can advertise them. Have a look at hopeforall.co.uk. It's a very simple, a couple of hours setup website. Not very good actually. I should spend a bit more time to make it look a bit smarter, but the message is there, and if people are intrigued, and ultimately, I mean, we know that it's not just confronting people with the message of the gospel, but it's by the Spirit of God that people have to be shaken up and woken up, and people will read it. You might use it for your church building, a church. So near the entrance, keep it ticking away. So anybody coming past the church, they might get a little Bluetooth message, and if they ever want to know what's going on, you might just invite them to come to the next church meeting. Maybe you've got special events, you've got a barbecue day or something like that for everybody to come around, and you could invite people informally. You always have to bear in mind, and I'm one of the worst candidates for that, people have got a lot of fear of thresholds. If they go into an unknown building, they don't like it. And I've got the same thing. When I've got to go to a new church, I don't know anybody, it's really difficult for me to go over the threshold in the building and to join a meeting, even though it's a public meeting and there shouldn't be anything. Where else can you use it? If you stay in an hotel, why not turn it on? Keep it churning away. Bearing in mind, people are often bored in the evenings, they don't know what to do, they watch television, so there might be a temptation for them to check out some weird Bluetooth message if it pops up on their phone. A shopping mall or shopping center, ideal place, people go there, they're relaxed. Maybe if you've got some restaurant area, just sit down there and keep your phone in your pocket and let the phone do all the work. You can use it for dissemination of information. So if this is a known way of communicating within your church or within your group, you could set a system up where you could just let people know what's going on, what's happening. And you could, if they go past a certain point, keep their Bluetooth on, they would get information which is important and relevant to them. Discrete advertising, again, anything, that's what it's originally been used for. It's marketing. So you can use it for that as well. You can go in a pub, for example, as a missionary effort. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows where it's coming from. So it's fairly anonymous. So you can go to really horrible places. You don't even need to go inside. You can just stand somewhere near the window, near the door. Just wait for somebody and let your phone do all the work and let people get woken up. Crusade as well. So if you've got like a tent meeting or something like that, you could run it there and set it all up in the tent meeting. Before meetings, keep it turned on, so information of when it starts, special speakers, anything like that. And then we've got other public places as well where you can quite easily use it, and it's legal as well since you carry it on your body, especially if it's a smartphone, if it's a small laptop. could put it in a bag and discreetly, be with your bag. And you could use bus stops or train stations to use this form of advertising and evangelism. So a lot of opportunities, but obviously think about it. Let your imagination flow, get inspired, and you'll find probably 100 more users and 100 more events or applications for this style of advertising. The message could be relevant information, could be about church meetings or special meetings like Christmas. You've got a Christmas meeting or Christmas, what they call it, a Christmas carol service. Why not invite people? Why not invite the neighborhood? You could use it as a neighborhood outreach. So if you've got a church building, in theory, you could put it somewhere near the roof of your church building, and depending where your Bluetooth dongle is, you could have a very good range into the neighborhood, 100 yards away from where you are based. Bearing in mind, people walk around the neighborhood as well, so eventually they're going to get the advertising on their phone, on their old phones. Simply evangelizing, as I mentioned before, that's obviously the whole talk, what the talk is about. You could do something like a Bible verse of the day. So use it as a thought for the day or something, where you could create little presentations, or just put I don't know, maybe a Bible verse. You couldn't push much information, but just in the header, in the first line, which is sent to the phone. You can send out phone numbers or websites for further help. So if people are in desperate circumstances, they need help, they don't dare to go to the church, you could advertise phone numbers or some contact information for people to get help if they are in difficult situations. You can make a mini presentation as well. I'm going to show you in a minute how to do this. And you just take a moving GIF. You think of a message which you want to use, and use MS Paint. Then you create your moving image, and it is important to keep the file size down to a few kilobytes, as I mentioned before. The website for that, it's a really good online website, is called www.gifmaker.me, and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, let's go there straight away. So I hope the website still works. I'm supposed to have internet access, but I'm not quite sure whether it still works. Okay, this is hopeforall.co.uk, and you see the, you can't see it, I need to move it here. Okay, that's a website. You see this image here, that's a moving image. And a little bit of text there, and it's all that's all one image. And just Matthew chapter 7 verse 13 and 14. Okay, right, let me show you how to do this. Have I got it? Free online animated. Here we go. We've got www.gifmaker.me, and what I need as well is let me just make this smaller. You need MS Paint. Yeah. So this is Paint. It's on every Windows Windows computer, and you can do this quite easy. Okay, let's give it a go, and I'm gonna create some text. Okay, let's create a text. I'm gonna write in just a little text. Where will you spend eternity? Okay, it's very small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So put this here. Make it bigger. Maybe we can just put it like a row. Okay, that's my first picture, so I'm just gonna save. Let's create a folder on the desktop. New folder, okay, call it presentation. Stick it right at the top there, presentation. Yeah, and go in here, and we're gonna save it as a JPEG. So JPEG, click down here. Where's it? JPEG. Here we go. Call it just picture 1. Just for an example, picture 1. Yeah. Okay, let's try and find some images. Best place to find images is Google. Go to images and type in here eternity. See what it comes up with. Well, there's some interesting there. And I should say at this point that you should always observe copyright restrictions unless you're in a country where it is not an issue. Can't find anything really, which would strike me as eternity. Okay, let's click on print screen. Yeah. So I've clicked on print screen, then click on new, click on paste, and here we go. Then I click on select, and I'm just going to take a small section. I'm not going to take the whole picture. I'm just going to take a small section of the picture. So I copy, or the easiest way is what I can do is I can go to crop, and then everything else is taken away. So I can save it as JPEG, picture 1, picture 2. And we're going to put a bit of text in here as well. Let's put a bit of text in here. Actually, it doesn't work very well because it's going to... No, let's forget about the text. Just leave the picture there. I'm just thinking it'll create some problems. It'll be all white in the background, so it won't be transparent, translucent. Actually, it will be. Let's try it out, see whether we can do this. Just type in eternity. Actually, it will. This is a Windows 7 thing. In previous Windows version, it wouldn't do this. Okay. So we stick this in here. And, okay. Done? Done. So you can see eternity. We've got this here. Small picture. Change it a little bit. So we're gonna click on save. Yeah. And then we're gonna come up just one more slide, so we're going to go to new, and then we're going to stick in a little bit of text. Make the text box a bit bigger, and then we can say Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, the life. Yeah. Okay, so we've got just a very tiny presentation, so I'm just going to save this as picture 3. I'm not going to sort of do it completely. I just want to show you the concept of how easy it is to create your own little moving GIF and your own little presentation. You might be wanting to do it for your website as well, so if you want some interactive things, but it's like a little presentation where you can put some stuff in. Okay, I'm going to go to Gif Maker now, and Gif Maker should be, let's have a look, where's Gif Maker? Should be here, yeah. Upload images, so it should be at a presentation. Here we go, picture 1, yeah. So voila, that's the first picture. And then we upload more images, picture 2, picture 2, and you can see, can you see it? Yeah, you can, it's still in the viewer. How this goes at the moment, still a bit confusing, so we're gonna stick one more picture in there, and yeah. Where is it? A presentation. Here we go. Picture 3. Here we go, and you can see. Yeah. Now you can change the time here. So let's change the time, animation speed. So we can change it to, for example, 5 seconds. Three seconds now, almost 4 seconds. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for example, we might have a little bit more text, or we don't want the picture to be too long. So what we do is we go to 1.5 seconds, yeah, and it's maybe not enough for the text, but enough for the picture. So one trick you can do is, I'm just gonna upload picture 1 and picture 2 again. So 1 is the text, and I'm gonna do it with picture 2 as well, presentation. Picture 3, not picture 2, yeah. So we want the text a bit longer and the picture not quite as long. So what we do now is, I'm gonna so doing this, move this here, and now what you can see is, where will you spend eternity, where will you spend eternity, then we've got the picture, and then we've got Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Okay, just see how this works. Picture is 1.5 seconds, and Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Where will you spend eternity? Okay, just with the time, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then maybe you would want to change between the text, just keep the picture eternity there. So we're just going to get this eternity picture one more time. Here we go. And stick this in there, yeah. So we're going to stick it right at the end, yeah. So, where will you spend eternity? Here we go. Okay, so we've got picture for 1.5 seconds and 3 seconds. Picture. Yeah, okay. So you can see how it works. Now we create it now. Download the GIF animation right now, and we're going to save it to our presentation folder. Here we go. Okay, that's done. And if I let me just open one more window, then I go to where do we open? And I'm struggling here, I should know this. It's I'm normally using a different browser, so I'm just looking for reopen. That's not the one. I can't find it. This is really embarrassing. Can we find it? Save as. Okay, we do it another way. So I'm just gonna go into desktop. Okay, this is the picture, yeah. So I'm going to go to open, and I need to open it with a browser in order to get the GIF effect. And let me try again. So we're going to open it with Internet Explorer. And there you can see the picture here now. 3 seconds for the text and 1.5 seconds for the picture. Yeah. So you can see how this works and how you can create your GIF. It's not very hard to do, and fairly straightforward and fairly easy. Okay, that's that. Let's go back to the presentation. So quickly, the issues. In general, only works well on old phones. Presentation needs to be really small in data size. Let me just check out how big the presentation is. When I look at this file, properties, it's about 40 kilobytes, so it's not very big, and it's just about enough. It would take about 5 to 10 seconds to send it via phone. Okay, let's go further. Issues. Okay, people may object being approached in that way, but it's always the case, isn't it? You preach the gospel to people who don't want to hear about it, and they'll always object about it. Frustration if it does not work. So, for example, if you advertise at church that you've got a Bluetooth marketing device going, and people enable the Bluetooth, and because the phone is slightly different, or the software is slightly different, or it's maybe not been set to discoverable, they don't get anything, or they click on, I want the data, and the data is not coming through. People get frustrated, and it can maybe backfire a little bit. So the point is, whenever you do anything like that, check it out on different phones. Make sure it works okay. Make sure that the Bluetooth stack which is installed on your computer, which might be one of 3, works well with that. And if not, you need to doctor around a bit until you get it. Okay, I'm now gonna try and give you a little bit of a presentation how this works, and let me see whether I get the camera to work. Let's have a look. Where's VLC? There we go. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see this. These are my 2 phones, and I need to turn the camera around, and you can see them reasonably well. You can see my hand there. It's not very well, but anyway. I'm just going to turn the phone on, and yeah, you can maybe see this here. That's the uncast sign. And I'm just trying to see that you can maybe get a better picture of that. It's a camera quality which is a problem, but you have to bear with that. Okay, so for uncasts, the first thing I have to do is I have to make sure that my phone is connected to the internet. Otherwise it doesn't work very well. It needs to verify the license, or wants to verify the license. It's free software, but for some strange reason they want you to connect to the internet. So I'm not quite sure whether anything else is going out there to the uncast people. Checked out the website. There's nothing on the website. So all the information I'm giving you is at your discretion, which you have to use it. It's important that Bluetooth is turned on. And okay, let me go further. So I've done this. And now I can go to uncast. It does the verification thing. I just click go further, and now I'm going to load in the image. And the image I have is this one. It's heaven, yes, but hell, is it real? Okay, it's all about this. I don't know whether you can see this very well. Let me just try to mess about with the camera. Yeah, the website I've put in there is called turnerburn.co.uk. You can type this in by just putting your finger on there. That's a little PowerPoint presentation. And all I do now is I'm going to set it on to press this button here, which is start broadcasting. And it starts broadcasting now. This is my old phone. It's an old style BlackBerry lookalike phone. And it should work. And it does. I need to unlock it first. So it comes up and it says, can't see very well on the screen, but it says, would you like to receive a message from www.turnerburn.co.uk? Can you see this? It's too bright, yeah? I'm going to click yes. So now it's downloading the presentation. And voila, it's arrived as a text message. I'm going to click on the text message. And I don't know whether you can see this. You can't see very well. I need to get a better camera to try and do these things. But anyway, just to tell you what's there, right at the top where my finger is, it says Bluetooth, and the graphic is called hell.gif, so it's a moving GIF. I'm going to click on yes, and now you can see let me try to see whether you can see this any better. You see the presentation. It doesn't look very well with the camera, but anyway, please bear with me. There's a little bit of text, and you can see bits of it. Okay, that's just to illustrate how easy it is. Now this would work over 20 meters. I'm just going to show you the presentation for real, so you know what it is. Okay, let me just... Okay, that's the presentation which has just been downloaded to my machine from the Bluetooth spamming device, and it's just this picture here. Yeah. So anyway, people can go to the website and go there. Just to let you know, I've got a lovely presentation as well, which is on the other website. So what I've done here is on the website is just a couple of pictures with a couple of YouTube videos, which are just embedded from another website, and they talk. It's a talk by people who have experienced hell in a near-death experience, and these are all the guys. There are loads more on the internet, so if you look around, you find quite a lot. I have got some internet problems, so. Ah, yeah, okay, now it's worked this time. Okay, what I've done here is just a little bit of videos as well, which talk about people who have experienced heaven. I can see this here. This is all some YouTube stuff, and a little comic from Chick Tracts, www.chick.com. So it's Jack Chick. He is a comic book writer, and he has written a lot of tracts. It's quite interesting. Just going to show you how this looks like. So you load this in. Internet is a bit slow today. And then you flip your page, and you can go and see. The way it works with these comics is you get a URL from him, and you can just stick it on your website. Okay. What else have we got? It's just a couple of documents. Copyright-free Bible, Old King James and American Standard as well to download, so if people are interested. What else have we got? Let me just go to the index page, and you can see another moving GIF. That's the other moving GIF. It's a bit more positive. And again, your imagination is, there's no limit set to your imagination, so create whatever you want to create, and pray about it, get some inspiration, and then get working and put something up there. And then, I mean, this is about QR codes a little bit and about Bluetooth advertising, and get cracking. Go to a shopping mall, sit down for a couple of hours, and look at the results and see how many people have been pestered by your Bluetooth spamming and how many have downloaded the presentation. You've got some ideas of how to get on and how to do this. I shall be monitoring this video, so if you want to get in touch, you can do that, and just leave a comment or go to www.radioeden.com and write something in the comment box. I'm a busy man, unfortunately, but if I can help you, and maybe sometimes you just need a little pointer, I'll do so, and you can maybe try and get your system going. A couple of warnings as well. I'm not responsible if you screw up your computer. It should be okay. It's reasonably safe, but I can't guarantee anything, and I can't do IT support from wherever you are to wherever I am. Anything you do, it's your responsibility. I've tried it on my systems. Most of the time it was okay. Uncast doesn't work on all phones. That's what I've heard when I was going through the different websites and the forums. So you have to try it out. I've got a Sony Xperia. It works on that one. It's supposed to work on other phones as well, but it doesn't work on all phones. So you have to try it out. But it's not just Uncast. There's a lot of other smartphone, Bluetooth marketing software out there. So it's just a matter of going, checking it out and doing this. How do you install it? When you've got your smartphone, there's something called the Google Store. Go to the Google Store, just click on it, and then type in Bluetooth marketing. And it'll do a search for you, and it'll come up with about 10 to 15 results, and just try them out, see how they work, and see what works for you. So it's a little bit of research necessary to try and get this going, especially if Uncast doesn't work on your phone. Also, if you see this video and you found something else, I'd be really interested to hear from you. Please leave a comment and let me know what you have found. Also, if something went wrong, let me know as well, even though I may not be able to help you, but it's important for me to understand, I've only got a couple of phones where I can try all this stuff on, and a couple of computers where I can try Bluesender, but I'm limited to what I can do. So I know on some phones it might work better and others might not work as well. And that concludes this presentation. Thank you for listening, and thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you are a little bit inspired to get out there and to do something and to spread the word, to spread the gospel. If you're not a Christian and you're just tuned in because you want to find out about Bluetooth marketing, Jesus is real. That's my message to you. I hope that you'll just open your heart a little bit and just ask God to really show himself to you. If you ask God, and if you are willing to to let him into your life, you will experience him, and your eternity starts right here, right now, and you can look forward. Now, I'm not talking about organizations, institutions, or anything like that. When we are talking at Radio Eden about God, it's just between you and God. It's a relationship between you and God and your eternity. It's not about institutions. It's not about a cult or anything like that. I'm not interested in that. But it's about you and God. It's your relationship with God. That's a really important thing, and that's really the only thing which really counts. Ultimately, you are an eternal being, and you need to make sure that you spend your eternity with God and not away apart from God. Okay, I leave it at that. So God bless, and bye-bye. Leave some comments. If it works for you, please let me know. If it doesn't work for you, I would appreciate your comments as well, and I'll try and do a bit more research in this area. Okay, God bless and bye-bye from Michael here at Radio Eden.